It's
Okay.
The
Name it. Go.
The Happiest Millionaire.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Happiest.
That was
Million-
Dick Van Dyke.
No, that's
Yeah.
Fred McMurray. I watched that movie. I have that entire film memorized. I have it memorized. I can
Dick
sing every
Van
song.
Dyke.
It's Fred McMurray. I can sing every song.
That's Mary Poppins.
No, he was in a
He
few.
was not in The Happiest Millionaire.
Okay.
Fred
McMurray. Is
What
Fred
year?
McMurray?
What year was
I'm
that?
wrong? Damn it.
Ryan just got that. You know what? I was on.
Burned.
I was on.
No, because there was
97.
another
Like,
Disney film that I had never seen
You're
before
probably thinking
that
of
Dick Van
Ben
Dyke was in.
Ben
And I was like, damn it, what is it called?
Ben
No. No.
It's definitely not The Happiest Millionaire. I literally, I can do that entire film by heart. I can sing every song. I can do the Corday. I can do the punching choreography that Corday
Why did you
does.
like that movie? Did you saw it when you were a
I
kid?
saw it as a kid, and I literally would watch it every night. I think the songs are amazing. The story is really cool. It's actually a real story. I mean, the daughter is actually
You mean based on a true story?
It's based on
Right.
based on a true story. A lot of it's about his daughter who she was torn between like boxing gloves and becoming a debutante, and he was like, be whatever you want to be. And I think for that time period, it was really kind of cool that they explored kind of things that we're just now doing now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Can we remake that movie?
You know
now?
what
Well, that's similar
well,
to Lani's writing of like giving that empowerment to your lead female protagonist.
Yeah, she's got this whole there's this song that her brothers sing to this guy that comes to court her, and they're like, Cordy's gonna punch you out basically because she knows how to box and everything, and then they accidentally punch him out, so when he wakes up he runs away, and then she has this whole song that I think is one of the coolest songs that I think in the movie, and then she's like, are you Valentine candy, are you boxing gloves, do you what once any answer would do, she's asking how do I be a woman and still not have to fit into this box.
Interesting.
And for the 50s, that was a crazy thought even.
That's what I say. This is in the 50s. What year this came out? 50s, late 50s.
I want to think. Well,
Oh yeah, I can tell you right now. I have it pulled
Boy,
up.
if there was only a device.
I know the story. I mean the story about the Drexel Biddles.
1967.
Okay, 67. The
Yeah, but
story.
it came out way late though, because I thought he passed.
That's
in,
what I was
Oh yeah,
thinking
because he
about.
passed in
okay.
in
Which
60. What? He passed away in 65, 66. Because he was 65 and he passed away in 66. So yeah,
When did it come out?
the year after
No,
Disney
then
died.
it came. Yeah. So
it was the year after Disney died, because Walt Disney was born in 1901 and he passed away at 65.
Yeah,
so that was 66. This came out in 67.
They had finished
He
filming.
couldn't have died in 66 because he was.
Did he die at 65?
No, because Walt Disney World
Look
in
it up.
Florida opened in 1971.
Yeah, but Roy finished that.
Roy
He'd
finished
already-
it, but it couldn't have come. It couldn't.
He
have
never
come
saw
from,
the opening of it.
I know he didn't see the opening, but he died just a few years
They
before that.
finished-
That is a few years before that.
That's like 5.
Look it up. Look it up. Somebody look it up. My phone.
What?
That's a few
67.
years
I
before
said.
that.
I
No, you
said.
looked it up. He died in 60.
But they were built.
No,
it
I'm
didn't
saying-
take like that
No,
long.
The
look
film
up
came out
when
in
he-
67.
Somebody look up when he died.
Oh.
Actually,
I'm telling you, I was him.
He was
I know
him.
when I
Let's
died.
go with. I'm gonna go with the guy that read the book and played the role.
I mean, Disneyland opened in 56, and he
55.
saw 55. My mom was
fine.
yeah.
All right. Let's just wrestle and get this all over with.
They had finished
that's
principal photography. They were in the process of editing it when he died, and that's why there is 7 different versions of that film. One of those versions is like 3 hours long.
Have you seen that version? Have they ever released that version?
They have.
Ooh.
I've seen every version. The version that I watched typically as a child was the 168
December
minute version.
15th, 1966. Called it.
Yeah,
Wow,
and the
nice.
See, I'm
film,
with him.
the film came out. The film came
He was
out
born
in
December 10th, 1901.
the film
So
came
almost
out.
too.
The film came out in the beginning of the next year, so it was
Right.
only a few months after he
Yeah.
died. But they didn't even know what version to release, and that's why they say that the film failed and why you've never heard of it. But they had, like I said, same people that did the music as Mary Poppins.
I have heard of that film.
Yeah.
It is by far way better than most of
The
the
timing just sucks for it.
Just for reference, the film that
Yeah.
I was speaking of for our listeners is called Never a Dull Moment. It does star Dick Van Dyke. This is the one I was thinking about.
Is Leslie Ann Warren and John Davidson?
No,
in
it's
that
Dick Van Dyke and Edward G. Robinson.
What was the name of the film?
It's called Never a Dull Moment.
Edward G. Robinson.
The tagline is
The
Meet
last
the
movie he
mob
ever did.
that set crime back 100 years.
Meet the mobsters.
Meet the
Meet
Mobster
the
Squad.
mobsters.
And it comes
Meet the
full
mobsters.
second.
Man, that's Squadcast. We'll see you. Bye.
Let's talk about your project that you guys are working on.
Yeah.
So
What's going on with that? And what do you want people to know what it is?
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Okay, so
I mean,
what's it
why
That's
do you-
why we're here, Squadsters.
Oh, got it. Mobsters.
What's it called? What's it about?
Squabsters.
Squabsters.
What's it called?
Just
What's
They
it
can
about?
be
Where are you?
the squad mobsters.
So you're working on a project together
Yes.
Yeah.
that you conceptualized and are developing and working.
I mean, I jumped on board.
We're-
It's called Handbook for Mortals. Lani wrote it,
Okay.
and Lani wrote it before I even really.
As a book
Knew
and a
you.
screenplay, right?
Yeah, well, so I wrote the original screenplay before Thomas and I knew each other, but we weren't really friends.
Okay.
But
You
then
might want to just jump into like explaining that
okay,
of how we of how we this
I used
producing
to-
partnership and
I
us
used
working
to
on this
stalk
project.
him as a
Even,
rookie of the year. No,
No.
I didn't.
Yeah,
So.
the real story.
Yeah, no. So to clarify, the reason that we have trouble kind of saying what we are is because the idea is it's a series. So we're producing the film and kind of the overall series together. But I wrote the script myself and the book. But I had written a version of the script at the same time. I had a fiance. We broke up. 3 weeks later, I had my creative energy need to go somewhere. At the same time, I met this band called 100 Monkeys, and one of the guys in the band was named Jackson Rathbone. He was also in all the Twilight movies. So I wrote the script, and
Sexy Bella. That's a
Sexy
very
Bella.
inside joke. Never mind. Sorry, go.
Okay.
That no one's ever heard. Go ahead. Sorry.
We have now.
Yeah,
I just forgot that no one's ever heard that.
we'll have to explain that later.
My bad.
So I'd written the script. That's where my creative energy went. While I was working on this band, and then I kind of put it aside for a little while. And then I had this idea because Jackson was an actor and had a band, and there were other actors that have bands. Robert Pattinson is a musician. He at some point tried to be a musician. There's other people. Adrian Grenier, who's a friend of mine, had a band at the time, and I was like, we should do something cool with all these actors that have bands. Like there's a thing here. And so one of my
Like Ryan Lambert and his mom, Adam.
yes, yeah.
Kaboom.
Ryan had a band.
Keanu.
Actually. Okay.
Bunch of
So he
Can we
was
get
in
Keanu?
Kids Incorporated. That was a band.
I know.
So
This was the reference, Lani.
shut up. So
B.E. Ooh. Another inside joke that only a handful of people know. Go ahead.
So I reached out to him because I wanted to do something with this, and he was, because we had a mutual friend who had worked with him, and him and his wife had worked with him or something on some stuff.
Well, no, because I met Mike through
Yeah,
my
but
wife, because my wife's a DJ,
Right, but
and he owned a
Jenny-
club in Hawaii and hired
But-
her a bunch of times to DJ
But
there.
Jenny, his wife, who also worked at this club or whatever, she was our secretary at the time at my office. So she ended up saying, "Oh, I know Thomas C. and Nicholas, like you should call him." And so I did, and we talked about this whole idea, and then that didn't go anywhere. And then, we casually kept in touch because I was like, well, maybe we can do something later. Sorry for wasting your time. And then, I later was managing Blues Traveler, and we were doing this collaboration album where I was bringing in other bands to do songs with them. And we were kind of just seeing what worked and what didn't, and some bands that we thought made total sense, or they thought made total sense, didn't make sense at all, and kind of the ones that didn't sound right on paper, like 303, and them, worked really well. So I was like, hey, I know this guy, Thomas E. Nicholas, the actor, and John Popper's a big movie fan, so he did. And I was like, he's got a band, why don't we just try it? So we got him, and we did a song together.
in New Orleans.
And so we spent,
And it made the record, by the way.
it made the
Sweet.
record.
The song made it by the song that I wrote with them made it
I
onto their voice.
executive produced the album, so I had the opportunity to call in who I wanted, but his song was better than some other people that we did that were.
I think 17 got written, right? It was
18 got written, and then I think 13 are on the album. Actually, don't quote me on that. I know executive produced it, but I can't. The numbers get crazy because.
We'll do
I still made the
we'll do
cut.
the shameless plugs here. Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, so the album's great. Go check it out. Like I said, something else that Thomas and I worked on together.
But wait, what's that album?
Oh, Blow Up the Moon.
Blow Up the Moon.
Yep.
Okay.
It's also got Roman Ramirez from Sublime, the Dirty Heads, the Plain White Tees,
Hanson,
Jewel.
I love
Jewel.
Hanson.
Gavin DeGraw.
No, Gavin.
And Jewel.
Not on there.
Gavin
That was not our decision. We wanted that song. That was Gavin's manager that decided he didn't want it.
Gavin DeGraw's not on there,
Gavin
but
DeGraw-
I made the cut.
That's right.
Goddamn.
Gavin DeGraw.
Hopefully
Deleted.
one day someone will get to hear.
Gavin DeGraw.
No, I still have.
Gavin DeGraw.
Hopefully somebody will get to hear that song because it's really good and I don't know, maybe it'll end up in our movie.
But while we were in New Orleans, and
Or
I had partied like way too late with John Popper the night before,
And you
Brandon.
played Brendan.
And
You
Brendan,
played
yeah.
pool table.
I played pool
You
table.
played
Pool
pool
table
table.
the shit out of that.
I pool table the shit out of that Camaro.
Brendan, if you ever get the opportunity to play pool with Brendan, don't, or at least don't bet money. He's a pool shark. So him and Tom played some pool, and then eventually John and Tom wrote a song, and then what happens is Blues Traveler, all the band guys write their own musical parts, so they kind of wrote the song, and then the guys come in and, Brendan puts the drums down the way it should go. Or
So
whatever.
we were grabbing some lunch, and that's when you brought up Handbook for Mortals to me.
Yeah, so I just...
In New
Which
Orleans.
is
I had-
something you had already worked on.
Yeah,
I
you'd
had-
already written the script.
I'd written a script. I had kind of gotten busy and it had kind of sat for a little bit, but it was something, it's one of those things, like I knew I had something there. I knew it was something cool. Just the timing was off when I first wrote it. So I put it aside, and then he and I were, we had lunch before we were going into the studio or whatever, because John always runs late. And no matter what time you tell him, somehow he'll still be late. So we were having lunch kind of waiting on John, and I just kind of threw it out there, and I said, hey, I have this script, and I don't know that it's ready yet, but I know that there's an idea there. I know there's something there, and it keeps gnawing at me. I started writing scripts when I was 11, and I actually started acting when I was 3. So it's like I had always done music and movies in some
That's a lot of gnawing.
worked at Sundance and different things. So it was... I'm gonna just keep going with my story.
What is
As you
the,
should.
what is the story
So I showed.
about? Like
so
what the script?
If you want to, yes.
No, I'll tell you.
Okay, yeah.
But so I showed it to Tom, and he liked it. He gave me some notes. I liked all but one, and so I changed those things. And then he was like, if you're kind of willing to change some stuff, I actually think this is really cool, and I'd like to work on it with you. So it's about a young woman who goes to Las Vegas to work for a magic show, but she can do real magic. Right. So it's set in current time. She's
which makes it an urban fantasy.
Makes it an urban fantasy, or it's also there is a romance involved. So
That makes it a paranormal romance since there's no
Paranormal
magic.
romance fantasy.
The protagonist is in her. She's not a teenager. She's a little bit older, but she's still a young woman starting out on kind of a journey, and it's a really, I think, a fun story. She, when she gets to work, she goes to Vegas to work for this magic show. She's kind of trying to hide who she is and just be there. And her mom's a tarot reader, and like her whole family is. So she comes from like this kind of gypsy kind of family, and she got away from her like southern town and being kind of outcast because she wanted to kind of go be accepted somewhere where people didn't really know. But the only skills that she has is reading cards, which she didn't want to do, and doing magic. So she went after the other thing that was her skill.
Right, so she does this
she does this crazy she goes and auditions for this show, and it's a David Copperfield type magician that has like a Cirque du Soleil type show. There's another guy in Vegas that has that, but we won't mention him because he's not relevant. Sorry, I mean to the story. I'm not like as a person.
No, you meant relevant to the world is what you meant.
He done you wrong.
Good save,
He
Lance
done
Burton.
you wrong.
Not Lance Burton.
Just
Lance
kidding.
Burton is a lovely man.
Is it Chris Angel? Yes.
Is
it's
it Chris Angel? We know, of course it's Chris Angel.
Oh fuck that shit.
Of course it's Chris
wait,
Angel.
you mean Adam Lambert's brother that does magic?
No, it's Adam Lambert's wig maker.
Oh, sister, because it's Ryan's mom.
Right.
Ryan's mom's sister. It's your aunt.
That's my
Aunt Angel.
Oh my god, Chris Angel's my aunt.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
For the Chris
What
Angel,
would you
douchebag.
disappear?
for the Chris Angel fans out there,
Chris Angel.
he's not in the film.
Disappear for real.
So she
Can the
goes.
mobster squad make him disappear for real?
So she goes to audition for this show, and she has this really cool illusion that she can't show to anyone because she asked to set it up, but nobody in the show can see how she does it because she doesn't.
For real.
You'll find out as the story progresses that she's doing this illusion because she can do real magic.
But you don't know that.
But the people she's working with don't know that. They just know that she won't let them in on her secrets.
And the audience doesn't know this either.
Right. No, yeah.
I like that.
They slowly start to find out.
Well, the audience starts to, like, the viewer and the reader.
But at that point, they're not clear.
Well, what? No.
Who are you playing?
What Lani? Because Lani actually, you used to work with Copperfield, right?
I used to work in the theater.
Okay.
So
Lani, when she originally conceptualized the story, which now is like a big thing, showing the behind the scenes. But when you came up with this concept, it wasn't a big thing in today's like entertainment. No. Now, like a lot of entertainment shows are showing you like the crew. So this is that idea of focusing on the people that run the show, not so much the show.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where the romance happens with her and some of the crew members. And so I play like she has the main character Zaid has a romance with the director of the show. Technical director and the music director.
Which is Jackson.
And so I play Mac's best friend, Tad.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sounds rad. Now, why...
And it rhymes with Tad, yes.
It sounds
why Rad Tad? Why is this... You came up with this concept because you were in Vegas and see these shows, or was this something that you known before?
No, so that's a good question. So like I said, I started writing scripts when I was 11. It actually started with a friend of mine, whose husband is, and this has nothing to do with her husband, because I hope, but he's actually the technical director of Le Rev. No, he's not the technical, he's the head of automation for Le Rev. So she's a book writer.
Which is a show in Vegas.
Yeah, it's a show in Vegas at the Wynn. So she's a book writer, and so she's never written scripts. I'd never written a book. So she's like, I want to try to help you write a script. I was like, cool. So we came up with this, that's where I came up with this idea where it's like, people always ask what happens behind the scenes at a Cirque du Soleil show. And, and really, so I was like, what if we did something that kind of focused not on the cast, but more on the crew?
Right.
So that's where it started. But then I got bored very quickly with just kind of that. And started throwing in like tarot and magic and that, and she was overwhelmed by all that, and the format of writing scripts was her biggest like turnoff. She had only ever tried to write books, and she was just like, writing a script is very different than writing a book.
No doubt.
As you leave a lot off the page because
all of the subtext that makes a book.
Right. Because you can't get in someone's mind. It's very hard to get in someone's mind. In a screenplay,
you infer the subtext with the structure of a script.
I'm dealing with that right now with a book that I own the rights to. And I'm trying to develop a deal for.
But
but I think I figured it out.
But you give the actors lines and you give a little bit of direction to the director, but you also have to give them creativity to bring those characters to life and to bring the film to life.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot you don't get to say on the script that you just have to hope that
comes through.
That comes through.
Right.
And so she didn't like that format at all. So she and I wrote, I think she helped me write like 2 pages, and she was just like, I'm out. And I think of what we wrote, there's one line I know that she actually wrote completely herself that stayed in there. And it's actually a great line, but I also like wanted to make sure. But she was like, you can just have the story if you do something with it. That one line I think is the only thing that's left of kind of what she and I wrote together.
Well, I like the concept. One, because it's interesting and I like magic, but I also know the shows and things like that because I know a lot of people that do them, been in them and run them. So it's kind of an interesting.
It's hard.
So it's a world that we haven't seen a lot.
Correct.
And I like the fact that we're going behind the stage to kind of get the people that make the nuts and bolts of it.
But then the cool part about it is that we're going behind the stage only to wind up essentially finding out something that's real, which relates to the front of the stage. You know what I mean? Like the illusion. So that's what gives it like a nice layer, and why
I like that.
For me, like I was born in Vegas,
right?
And my great uncle was a famous close-up magician who wrote the first book on how to do close-up magic called Scarney on Cards. So my great uncle was John Scarney. So I was instantly hooked into like Vegas
you know this world.
magic.
Because that's what I was going to get into, because you've had your Vegas experience. You have your Vegas experience.
Also, she liked, all but one of my notes. So I can't really help produce a project if the person, I'm working with doesn't want to hear my notes.
Right.
So, if Lani had said, like, cool, no, I don't like your notes, but do you still want to work this? I'd be like, no.
Well, that's what I want to talk about the concept, is because very few people, they enjoy shows, whether it's a magic show, close-up magic, or an illusionist show, which has changed. Obviously, they change over time, but now it's really changed since Siegfried and Roy lunch buffet incident. But I've known a lot of people.
Looks like my episode of Family Medical Center, my first job.
That's right. And we've come full circle, and that's it. Thanks for the episode, folks. These shows are like, some are terrible, and yet they're twice a day, 5 days a week at the Tropicana. And it's a whole other world.
Go see and be entertained.
Yeah, and I've been enthralled by this Vegas live entertainment for years, and I've been involved with them. I know people have done them, and I've done. You said you worked at David Copperfield in the theater during his show.
I worked in the Hollywood theater. So actually, at the time, now it just belongs to David. At the time, it was actually a revolving door of shows. So Carrot Top played there, George Carlin played there, Tom Jones played there, David played there. So I worked in the theater, so no matter who was in there, I was in that theater.
So I did, when Copperfield used to have his annual TV specials.
You were the fluffer?
No, that's the other show.
Oh.
You keep getting those mixed up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Oriental Express and making the Statue of Liberty disappear, I'm assuming.
Before
Is that
it
what
was
you call
his
it? The
second
Statue
show.
of Liberty? Wow.
No, it's the one where he made the
So generous to yourself.
It's the one where
The
he
Statue of Liberty, not the real one, the one from Vegas.
The little tiny foam one you get in New York. It's good.
The foam one in your hands.
He made the Learjet disappear.
Okay.
And so I was in that special.
Is that what you're calling it these days?
And so I worked with David Copperfield back when I was like 9. But I was behind the scenes. I was in a vignette of his TV special, but you're basically a box girl.
Right.
So if you know a box girl, you spin around, they go in the stairs, and they're like curled up, and you go underneath and do all that shit.
David probably made you sound away.
And I was 8. I didn't know what I was reading. But, and I've met, in the last, over the years, I've met people that were, box girls and performers and stuff. Like, oh yeah, it's like a little kinch. I was like, no, I just did a TV thing.
Did you just give away a magic trick?
No, everybody knows they're in the stairs. Come on.
Not everyone.
I'm not the spoiler of this podcast. You spoil every fucking movie that we talk about.
I do.
You're the biggest
Day after Rogue One, I'm like, they all died.
They all died.
In Hollywood theater, there are no stairs, and nobody goes.
And no steps. Nobody goes. Right. Well, I'm not. Okay.
I mean, this is the same shit my great uncle went through when he wrote Stony on Cards. It was that's why it was. When he wrote the first book, it was kind of like giving away how you do it.
And it's sort of like a weird type of thing, but all Copperfield's close-up stuff.
I always
and
remember that stuff. It's like, if you want to know, you can know.
Well, Penn and Teller, actually, they have this cool show, if you ever go see it.
Penn and Teller's a great show.
And they actually do, what's cool is they show you how they do some of their tricks.
Yeah.
And then they do something else they don't show you.
Right. Which is a great way to freshen up a normal show.
And then they're
smart anyway.
They do a trick called the bullet trick.
And his wife actually worked on Rookie of the Year.
That's right. They worked before she was his wife.
Yeah.
And my really good friend used to be Penn's assistant. So
we've got full circles all over the place here.
It's like the 6 degrees of the mobster squad.
It's like we're family.
It's
like we're family.
Well, the entertainment business.
If Adam Lambert knocks on my door here, then I'm gonna freak out.
It's kind of fucking nuts.
Chris says he does. Chris says
Wolfman has nards.
Chris.
You tell you this, you kick him in the nards.
I mean, the entertainment
keep the
business
cannoli.
is small. We all have to admit.
The what?
The entertainment business is small.
Oh, well, okay. Wow, I just heard.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Statue of Liberty is small, and I was going to take it to heart.
No,
it's just bad.
And your jet, whatever.
It's a Lear jet. That's a brand
disappeared
name.
in David Copper's mouth. What?
No, it was at the Burbank Airport.
Oh, I thought your Lear jet disappeared in David Copperfield's mouth.
No.
David used to have this really cool trick. Well, I mean, he still has it. I mean, he's not doing it currently to show where he actually.
He's alive?
Go see him at the
Copperfield?
Hollywood Theater.
David Copperfield's still alive?
At the MGM Grand.
Yes,
Like,
and his
we're
whole
gonna
big
see him-
warehouse and office is right
I
on
think
the
it's just
street.
like you just see him at the
His show on
Hollywood Wax
Tuesday night.
Museum.
It's
Yeah.
We're going to see a show on
But-
Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's still a good show.
He
Copperfield's
Yeah,
great.
he does 2 shows a night, 7 nights a week, and 3 shows on Saturday. That man is a workaholic.
Yeah.
And he owns an island in the Bahamas called Moishe Cay at Copperfield Bay. If you have like $25,000 a night, you too can go stay there.
Boy, he really knows how to make your money disappear. Jesus Christ.
That's a good one.
You have the illusion of having a good time.
You don't really go there.
While the reality of
You
of
just get
becoming
delayed at
broke.
your local regional airport,
Yeah.
and you think you went to an island.
David had this trick that he did for years, which was one of my favorite tricks, where he brought 13, and they were random people. You caught a silver ball, you went up on stage, and you disappeared, and then you reappeared in the back of the theater. You got to go to your favorite place, your happy place.
I saw that. It was the incredible Burt Wonderstone, which is by one of my favorite movies.
They
took that off of that.
Well, David and his team, magic consulted.
Have you seen that movie, Ryan?
The
Steve
Carell,
Buscemi.
right?
Yes. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
Steve Buscemi, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've not
That is
seen
a great fucking
I've
movie.
not seen
David
that
makes
movie.
cameos in it too.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the. It's
What's
only
the
good
ones
one because
with-
it kind of gives a little heart
I think
to
I've seen,
that
like,
world.
bits
That's
and
not
pieces
how
of it.
David did the trick,
Who
though.
goes in like
The
who
way
goes
they
and does
knock
it like
people-
a
they don't
kid's
knock
magic?
people
Jim
out.
Carrey's in that
Is
too,
it Will
right?
Ferrell?
Jim
That goes-
Carrey,
no,
right?
Jim Carrey.
Jim
Or-
Carrey.
Who does like the kids? Like gets
They-
hired for the kids?
They
party?
both. It's James
They get-
Gandolfini's kid because he's the hotel owner.
Right.
I love the Incredible Burt Wonderstone because it gives that world a little bit of heart. But it's actually not a bad movie. It's
What
really
about
good.
the one
No, it's
with
really cute.
Jesse Eisenberg?
And Olivia Wilde's in it, plays the assistant. Now
Was
you
it
see
the one
me?
where
Now
they
You See
where they
Me's
knock
great.
everyone out and like carry them up to the?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
carry him out to the desert and then
That's-
wake him up.
That's
Yeah,
not
because we
how you
speak-
did. That's not how we did 13.
No,
just so
but is
everyone-
that the movie?
Yeah. That's
Where
the
they
movie.
like they,
Yes.
like they knock everyone out, and they
It's-
carry them up to the roof, right? And then they knock them out again.
And then
carry
take him
them
back and like, what?
Yeah.
It's,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that
I gotta
movie because it gives.
I'm gonna watch
I will
that.
watch the Incredible
I
Burt
think I
Wonderstone.
wanna-
I would watch. We should all
I guess
get
I have
together and
seen
watch
it.
it.
In fact, we gotta go. We gotta go watch the Incredible. Burt
Okay, yeah,
Wonderstone.
we're gonna go.
What are we at? Are we
So that's the project you guys are. So
This is as long as American Pie 1, 2,
So should we-
wedding, and
No, not that-
reunion.
that's not
Should we
that
start
bad.
the podcast now?
Yeah,
guys
should
wanna
we go?
start?
Do you want to start
Uh,
recording?
I mean, if you're, I mean, if
Hey,
starting
I'm
at
Andre
9.
Gower. This is Ryan
Hey,
Lambert.
wow,
We're
it's
here with
podcast.
Thomas E. and
Woo,
Nicholas.
Let's go.
We started at 9, right? In 12 minutes. We started in 12 minutes. I'm not ready yet.
Go.
So what's next? Like,
Yes.
I mean, I know you guys got a project. But
Okay.
What do you,
Well, that's
what's
where we're
actually
currently-
like coming up for you work
That's
wise?
our project.
No,
That's it.
that
Oh,
is
no.
because we're doing the Wizard World Comic Cons. We're signed on to as many as we're available for, and we're
Right.
pre-selling the limited first edition book
Oh.
based upon the film. So we've already been selling
That
pre-sale
comes out-
copies
Yeah, that comes out
at
this
Philly
year.
and Sacramento, and we'll sell them at Columbus, and it comes out on August 15th.
The book of
book.
Mortals.
The book.
Yeah, the Handbook of Mortals.
The Handbook of Mortals. And where can someone go if
Handbook
they wanted to see that?
for-
Handbook for
Mortals.
Mortals.
Handbook for Mortals.
Yes.
You just messed up our own project title.
I
there.
landed it totally.
You totally
You have
landed
me
it.
repeating what Andre said.
What were you
Wait,
saying?
I was
Handbook
trying to
of
get the
Mortals?
information
He said-
where people can
No,
go
the
get
Handbook
the
of
book.
Mortals. He
The
said.
Handbook
So the
of
Handbook of Mortals comes
Handbook,
out.
Handbook of
I-
Mortals.
I could have.
Handbook for Mortals.
Should I change it to Handbook of Mortals?
No. Handbook for Mortals is much. Well, it depends on what is it for somebody or of somebody.
Is there a website people can go order?
Yes.
this?
Where can people go find this
Well,
book?
right now it's exclusively available through Wizard World at Wizard World shows.
August
Got
15th,
it, okay.
you will be able to go to your local bookstore and buy a book.
physical paper
Physical.
book.
Yeah,
bound,
it's
Or leather bound.
or
it's
leather.
The
yeah.
hardcover.
first edition is a collector's edition. Like
Right.
Very
those-
cool.
But when you go to that table inside Barnes and Noble, and there's like those collector's editions,
Yes,
like
very neat.
leather-bound, like
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna go get it.
So
Yeah.
you can pre-order it at Wizard World if you come to the Wizard World prior to the book coming out.
Well, if Wizard World would invite Ryan and I back, we would totally
Wizard-
buy one.
Wizard World.
Wizard World.
And if
then-
anybody,
Cool whip.
for people that are listening, where
What?
are
Yeah.
the next like 3 or 4 weeks?
Yes. Where's your next Wizard World appearances?
The next one is Columbus
Uh-huh.
at the beginning of August, actually. So
Right.
we did Philly, we did Sacramento.
Right.
We might be in Albuquerque.
Don't take a wrong turn.
Go to wizardworld.com
Yeah,
and,
and we
find
do
out
have
where they are.
we do have our own like socials on.
Yeah, let's do those.
It's handbookseries.com and handbookseries on
So on
Twitter.
it's Handbook Series because Handbook for Mortals is too long for Twitter. They don't allow enough characters.
I know my
Right.
name's too long for Twitter. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why I just have Tin Band because Thomas Ian Nicola, and then it just like stops. Then
So Twitter's lame. So it's Handbook Series on Twitter. It's actually the website is Handbook Series as well. And then Instagram and Facebook it's Handbook for Mortals. And then he's Tin Band, and I'm on Twitter. I'm Rock AN Roll Gypsy, and I'm on Instagram. I'm LANIERS, and I think he's just Tin Band everywhere.
I'm Tin Band everywhere.
You're Tin Band everywhere.
And then
Yeah.
the film that will be starring some really amazing people that we're going to announce later this year will be coming out next year. And then, like I said, the idea is a series, so there'll be more books and there'll be more films, and then the story gets crazier and things get more exciting as we go.
So this is a world that can expand
This is a
into
world
other
that can
stuff from the
expand,
beginning.
and yeah.
And have
they're
fun.
like-
That was how when Lani wrote the screenplay, a friend of hers that was a book publisher read it and said, "Oh my God, this would make an amazing book." And she's like, "I've never written a book," even though she ironically started the project with a
book
Right.
writer.
book writer. So
Yeah, and she was
and
like, it could be a series.
change the ending and have it
originally
carry on.
Originally, it just was like, and they live happily ever after, and she was like, you can't have them live happily ever after yet. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that sounds rad and fun, and so keep us posted on
Yeah.
that, of course, and we will try to keep our folks posted. So go find all of the socials that we just rattled off there. Press rewind and go back and get those because I'm not repeating them because I don't remember them.
We'll write them down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can write
and we'll
them
have
down,
and
put
we'll
some
have them.
links.
I will get those.
Linkage.
They'll be on the site. They'll be on the linkage will be on the
and
on
then
the
after that,
interwebs.
we'll make Mobster Squad, the sequel.
The
to
return. The return.
The Return.
It's like with like Tommy guns and hats and white ties. You look terrible in a white tie, so we can't put Ryan in a white tie.
No, we can't do white ties, but we can definitely like fight. I want to.
You guys could have like
Are
kids.
we
and
the
your kids could-
No, because
You want to fight Ben Affleck?
No, because with the Monster Squad, we were the Monster Squad. We fought
Right, but you were
monsters.
fought- yeah,
so
so you-
now we're fighting the mobsters.
Right. Yes,
So
I think
are
we
we
should.
fight? So what I think we should be fighting ghosts of mobster past.
Joe Pesci's ghost.
Joe Pesci's characters, Ghost, Al Capone, Johnny Depp as fucking
Bonnie
Bugsy
Clyde.
Malone.
Fuckface.
Bonnie and Clyde.
We could Scott.
Bonnie-
We could
they were
go-
just
we're
bank
not
robbers.
monsters. Can I kill Scott
They were
Baio as Bugsy
gangsters.
Malone?
You can kill Scott
Gangsters
Baio.
and mobsters.
Ooh,
In
can I
general.
cut Scott Baio's head off as Bugsy Malone?
No, in the movie. You're talking about in the movie, not like
No,
actually
no, no.
want to cut Scott Baio's
well,
head off.
Oh no. Oh, whoa.
Wait,
No,
what?
this is a narrative
Not the
story,
movie, not
Ryan.
the-
Narrative, not a documentary.
I was about- it's-
Shit. Damn it.
Yes, this is a script.
Wait, is there a
Can,
difference between
wait, did
a
Tony,
gangster and a
did Tony Danza ever play a mobster?
Not really. Kind of. Yes.
Bonnie and Clyde. I said Bonnie and Clyde, and you guys all looked at me like I was
'Cause I could
crazy.
just-
Those are bank robbers.
Do a
They
sweep.
were gangsters.
No, they were bank robbers.
Wait, what are we
They
talking
can
about?
totally be.
What's
Gangsters are still kind of mobbed up.
No, no,
What?
no. They were not made men.
They were not.
Or
Yeah,
women.
they were.
arguing
They
about?
were like.
They were.
Oh, bank robber.
No,
The
no,
question
no,
is,
they weren't
do we
made.
they're not gangsters. They're not gangsters. Not what
We
you
have
think.
a
Watch
lot-
Vince Vaughn and
John Favreau
John
and Maid.
Favreau in Made, and then you'll understand what being a made man is, and
Great movie.
also what a terrible movie is.
Great movie. One of my favorites. Let's end on that. Thanks, guys, for coming out.
We're ending on fucking Maid.
Let's sign
Well,
out.
here, well, let's end on something a little lighter. Trailer Park Shark.
Oh yeah.
End of July on Sharknado Week on SyFy Channel. One shark, no tornadoes.
Tom stars in it.
Okay,
I am
yeah, this
also-
is what we were asking.
I'm
Yes.
also in it.
What's out?
This
What's
is
coming
it.
out?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is so much better. Okay.
Yes.
Than fucking Affleck.
We have another hour to go.
Wait, did we
now.
even talk about Affleck?
No.
How'd we come on Affleck? Who's
You
got
just said Affleck.
That was a
Is that-
million years ago.
There, is that like?
It was
the-
Vince Vaughn and Favreau. Okay.
You know,
You-
well,
Trailer. Okay.
but
hang
speaking
on.
of which, Casey
David
Affleck was my
Copperfield
older
shows
brother
and
in American Pie 1
I-
and 2.
Okay. The fucking Affleck. Jeez.
The text messages that I got from friends when he won
Goddamn
his Oscar.
bastard. Oh,
Your older brother just won an Oscar.
yay.
Okay, so trailer
So first
park.
he taught me about the spicy tuna hand roll, and then he wins an Oscar and he can't deliver a acceptance speech. Anyway, so Trailer Park Shark.
Trailer Park Shark. One shark, no tornado.
Yes.
Is this a sci-fi thing?
During
It's a sci-fi thing,
during
yeah.
Shark Week on Sci-Fi.
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
During Sharknado.
Shark Week is Discovery Channel. Sharknado Week is Sci-Fi. And we do have a cameo in there from Tara Reid, which was supposed to be a secret, but it's listed on IMDb. So
That's what I was gonna
apparently,
ask.
but she's not playing her character from that.
Okay.
And Lani also has a cameo role in it.
I'm in it.
She plays the trailer park.
Whore.
She plays the trailer park? Whore. Okay.
Not the park.
Well, you know what? Every trailer park needs their whore.
I could be.
She offers her. She wants my character to fix.
My washer is broken.
Oh, down, ticka, ticka, bang, ding, down.
You know, I'm surprised they even have a washer actually in a trailer
you're the
park.
pizza man.
And you're the pizza. You're the deliverer.
Well, I guess
See how it's come all back to
I guess you have washers and then you hang your clothes to dry. So
I just wanted to hear you say washer
Yeah,
a few more times.
I-
Boy, is that Florida coming out again or not? That
I'm
little
from
sticky.
Georgia.
that's-
I'm from Georgia.
You were born in Florida.
We know this. Do you?
I was born in Florida, but I lived there until I was like 2. I grew up in
Yeah,
Georgia.
you know what? That sticky clay mud still stuck in there a little bit. But it's all
The
right.
Georgia clay.
But her
that's
character
It's all right. My
offers
mom says
herself
wash.
if I fix her washer, and
My mom says
I
wash.
say, no, listen, I got, I'm with, Jolene,
He's a
I got a girlfriend, and she goes, well, I'll make it worth both your while.
Great line.
Yes.
Yeah, but I do it with a really funny Southern accent. And then he says he'll think about it, and then says,
No, I said.
You
No,
started.
no, she goes, I'll make it both your while. I said, we'll see you later. No, I mean, no, wait.
Right.
You know.
Wait, has anybody said I do it with a really, really serious Southern accent? They always go with a really funny Southern accent. My kin's from the South, I can say that.
But, the best part about it is, in my opinion, is that Dennis Haskins, Mr. Belding,
Yes.
great guy, plays the main antagonist who orders the levee to be blown so it floods the trailer park. And that's how the shark
That's how the shark gets in.
Wait, Eugene Levy gets blown up?
Ooh,
Wow.
full circle.
Damn levee.
Damn.
That's where...
Damn levy?
Damn levee.
Damn levy?
Damn levee.
Wow. All right. Well, okay. Trailer park shark.
Trailer park shark.
Trailer
There's a couple
Shark,
other things
I'm
you can see from me as well.
Yeah, let's. Okay, what's this?
The Lost Tree is a thriller drama that I produced and starred in, which will hopefully be coming out later this year. We're just finishing up our deal right now. Another independent.
Okay.
Michael Madsen, Lacey Chabert, Scott Grimes, Claire Kramer, myself. There's a teaser trailer.
Scott Grimes.
Fucking Grimes.
Grimes is in that shit?
Yeah. Well, Grimes got me my first. Him and his mom helped me get my first agent back in 1986.
Right.
And then I have a found footage vampire movie called Living Among Us.
Ooh.
With William Sadler, John Hurd, James Russo, Esme Bianco from Game of Thrones, Andrew Keegan. And that we have a teaser trailer. It's got like 650,000 views right now.
Shit.
And that will hopefully be out later this year or early next.
Awesome.
Wow.
So that's all. That's much better than just like nothing to talk about what's coming up.
But like I said, the main focus right now is those things are all done. So
Right.
the next one that we're filming is Handbook for Mortals.
Yeah, because you're always in that next. That was nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Dig it. Well,
That we'll be making for the next 10 years, hopefully.
no. Let's get.
We're not making the first one for the next 10 years.
No,
We're making it
series.
and its
Oh yes.
sequels.
Oh, got it. Yes, you need to.
Well, you need to clarify.
Yeah, you need to clarify that
But
because
then
it
we'll
did
be
sound
making
like
for
we're
the
going to
next 10
make it
years.
forever. It's never
Jesus,
going.
no,
We're
it's
never
not
going to
the
get it.
Winchester House, okay? We're not going to not stop building it.
It's not Quixote.
No.
Stairs to nowhere.
It's not Don Quixote.
With Andre hiding beneath them.
Wait, I'm Harry Potter. Can I live under this? I would be Harry.
You're
Potter.
a wizard, Harry!
What? What? What are you talking about? I am.
Harry! You're a wizard, Harry!
That's very good, by the way.
Wizard, Harry.
Well, let's thank our guests.
Thanks,
We're all
guys.
wizards at Wizard World.
Oh.
You
Guests.
can see them
Thank
at
our
all the
guests.
Wizard Worlds.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Lani. Thank you for coming.
But not the
Thank you for
Wizarding
coming.
World of Harry Potter. You
Not the
can't
Wizard.
go.
Oh my God, how great would that be? I want to move to Hogwarts like right now. I would go.
They
Bye,
have
everybody.
it at Universal.
No, like the real Hogwarts, the one that's
You know, you
actually
can
magical.
live at Disneyland in Florida, or Disney World in Florida. That you can like.
I mean,
pay
they have
to
it
live
here.
there.
They have it here.
I don't.
Here.
No, the real fucking Hogwarts.
Oh.
I just
Like
read a
the real
great
magical
essay.
place.
I read a great essay this morning.
What's up,
on-
essay?
Essay. What's up, essay?
There's 3 people from LA here.
On Harry Potter and the education that these kids got. It's like they just pluck them out of like obscurity. Like it's a private school, and you actually have to pay for it because they actually acknowledge that. Like you can afford this because your parents were really rich and we can go get the money from the vault. So like
the vault at Gringotts.
You have to pay for the school.
Yeah,
so
that's free.
It's a private school. So if you are a wizard and you are not rich, you are not going to the school. Also, when you're at the school, you are literally not learning anything for the real world. There's no math. There's no science. There's nothing.
You can do magic. You don't need these other things.
No.
That's why Harry's parents got themselves killed,
right,
so that he could collect the insurance money and go to Hogwarts.
Shit.
Yeah, why were Harry's parents
None
so
of these
rich? He had a
kids like
boatload of
know
gold
anything about like living in the actual world.
But they don't have to, because they're not mugbloods. They can live.
They
They're
can
wizards.
do
They
magic.
they can
don't
live.
need to know. How
Trust
often
me.
do you
I'm gonna
use
punch you
algebra?
as soon as I hit stop.
But they're
recording.
not allowed to use magic in the real world.
They don't have to. They can use it in the wizarding.
I think-
They have, when they go back to the real world, they're just like, and now I don't know what to do. I don't know how to go to the supermarket.
There's
I don't know
always
how to, like,
the
buy
other
stuff.
way.
I don't know how much
I
money.
think-
No, they just get a job at Google.
That's right.
I think
Because
Ryan.
you know what they do for those guys, right? You heard about this.
Yeah.
They just do everything for them because they're just nerds and like super smart.
Oh, they do
I
their
have-
wash. They have their.
I
and,
have
like,
a-
and someone will like take
yeah.
them to their
No, there's
to their,
robots
to their
that come up with you with
apartment.
a
No, no, no.
sandwich
They're
and like
like-
put it in your
No.
mouth.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have a good friend whose brother-in-law actually works for Google, and he doesn't like to associate himself with people, so he interacts with people as little as possible.
Yes.
And he has someone that comes to pick him up. They even drive him to work.
Yeah, they just
And
want
Take care of his
you.
laundry.
They just want
they bring
you
his
coding.
groceries. They just
That is
literally
it.
like you are a able brain, and we'll take you from your place where you've rested and recharged.
Yes.
Put you in front of a computer. You will program, and we'll do everything else. You don't have to think.
Welcome
Anything
to
in real
Coder.
world.
Believe me,
Worker.
I lived
The
in San
wizards-
Francisco.
the wizards
Coder
of-
B.
I lived in San Francisco
Technology.
for
Wizard of
15
Code.
years. I know all those dudes.
So wait, so I think you want to make the Harry Potter version with the kids that don't go to the
I don't want to make
Hogwarts.
anything. I just
sound
read
like-
something
Ryan-
this morning in bed.
Ryan
hungover.
doesn't like Harry Potter World.
But
I
I
love
love
Harry Potter.
World.
But that would be-
I won't go on any of the rides.
That would be an interesting story, like the kids that are magical. Well, I guess that's what the magicians do. That's kind of what the magicians, the TV show on.
All the teachers were like crazy or assholes or psychos. They're like, Jesus Christ, these kids like.
I know, how great was that? And it's like
It's
deadly.
a movie.
Is it? But
Just
is
like,
it?
did you fight monsters?
Wait a minute, all the teachers now are
Yes.
psycho. They're like sleeping with their students, and they're like, "What's going on here?"
I'm Jewish. I fight monsters every day. Anyway.
That went real dark.
Go reverse, delete, cut, edit.
Where's my robot?
Where's
Where's my robot that brings me a sandwich?
what?
The robots don't make.
What do you want? A
reverse
corned beef
sandwiches.
on rye? What do you
I
want?
want my corned beef on rye for my Google robot sandwich.
No, that's
burger.
Kugel.
Oh, cool.
And we're out with the Jewish joke. And here we go.
Lugal.
I'm Jewish.
Frugal? No, we won't.
Aw.
And we're out. Thank you for coming and hanging out and telling us about your projects because they sound really fun. So if you're in a town that has a Wizard World coming up, which is a giant convention, since we didn't talk about what the fuck Wizard World is, they're just like,
We'll be
what are they
in
talking about?
Columbus and Chicago.
Columbus and Chicago in August. That's right, because
Yes.
Chicago is in August. We did Chicago last year. It's absolutely crazy. It's huge. Anyway,
The city or the Wizard World?
yes. Thank you for coming. Thanks for hanging out and sharing stories.
All from this all I think is like a continuation of our missed first handshake in the green room.
How great was that?
My favorite
And it just
part of
went.
it. My favorite part of it was that I was willing to just call myself out on missing your hand completely.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just
Tell-
missed your hand.
Tell me. So the backstory
Oh my
is.
god, did you guys white boy out on like the
No,
shake?
I
No,
just
no.
remember a simple like normal
we went, hey,
handshake.
how's it going? I'm Andre. He goes, I'm Tommy. We went.
We just fucking
It was just
collided
kinda-
hands, like just knuckles.
It was like
I
we
just
both
said,
had
white
vertigo.
boy hand.
No, it's like we
No,
both had
no.
vertigo, and it just the world was spinning, and we're like, wait, you want to start over? Like, let's do that again.
Yeah, I basically called myself. I said that was
wait.
awful. It was my
terrible.
fault. I missed your hand.
Let's
try that again.
And I was like, no problem. And
My
Gene Simmons
favorite-
was on the couch on his phone.
I have to tell my favorite handshake story at Wizard World.
and Cusack was on his
Cusack
phone being a
brooding in the corner.
brooding Cusack.
With his Cubs hat. I go, go Cubs! He
He's
goes,
like,
oh yeah.
oh yeah.
So we were sitting at
Fucking
the table
Cusack.
eating lunch, and James Marshers, who's there from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Yes.
And Thomas says, somebody introduced all of us, and James.
Greg.
Oh, Greg Sulkin. So we had been.
He plays Greg's dad on the new Marvel.
Yeah, he plays Greg's dad on the new
Runaways.
Marvel's Runaways that comes out next year. So they knew each other, and I think that's why Greg was there. And we had become friends with Greg at this point. So Marsher sits down, and then Greg.
Marsters.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's
She
what I
said Marshers.
Well, it's okay.
Mobsters.
We're used to this now.
Mobsters.
James Mobsters. James Mobsters.
James Mobsters.
He played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You guys know what I'm talking about. So he's
I have no idea what you're talking
he's
about.
in the middle of
James
eating.
Marsden?
seen
Eddie
it.
Munster?
I've never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So he's in the middle of eating, and Tom goes to shake his hand, and so he literally, obviously you guys can't see this, but he licks, all his fingers. You know how you stick your finger in your mouth, he licks all his fingers, and then
To
puts his
give you
hand down to shake Tom's
And
hand.
I just kind of look at his hand. I'm like, I'm good. And I kind of reach up my left elbow and kind of knock his
Marsters did
elbow.
that?
No, not Marsters.
Yeah,
Marsters
Marsters.
did that?
Yeah.
That's sort of now I see why Cusack only gives you a fist bump. He will not talk to you, look at you, or shake your hand.
And then, Tom's like, and he goes, oh, yeah. Then he realized what he did. So
That's hilarious.
He was in the middle of eating, and then Greg's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this is Tom," and they're like, "Oh, nice to nice to meet you."
These are the things that people don't get in the green room at a Wizard World, which is sometimes the most surreal shit that ever goes down. This is where Ryan met the cast of X-Files, and this is where I got Ralph Cockblotchioed, which is a famous thing in our podcast.
Fucking Machio.
Fucking Machio. And then in Philly, it's weird because you walk in there where you and I can't get a handshake right. Fucking Gene Simmons is on the couch, texting his accountant. And Chuck Norris is over here talking to Jesse Eisenberg. While the cast of Riverdale is throwing grapes at two assistants from Doctor Who. While
Wait,
the guys from
back up.
Companions.
Thank you, Jesus.
What did I say? The assistants?
You said assistants.
But see, at least you corrected it because
Yeah.
Ryan's the Doctor Who fan. And don't ever do DR period.
God.
Yes, we know this. But I did get to meet at the Philly show one of my top 5 of all time.
Nichelle Nichols.
I did meet her too. She was on our flight back.
Laminated.
Famke Janssen. So
Yeah.
my year is fine. I'm good. But yeah, so go to Wizard World. You won't get into the green room, but you can go hang out.
I got to meet the 2 guys from Monster Squad.
Yes, you
Right.
did,
Go
didn't
ahead,
you?
go
Oh,
ahead.
oh my
Go
god.
ahead.
That was
Oh my
Be
god.
go ahead.
And now you're sitting with them on their podcast. You're like, why didn't I go talk to Chuck Norris?
Because I was afraid
he
that
have a
the
podcast?
fist would come out of his chin and punch me.
Does he have a podcast?
Or he is the podcast. It's like Chuck Norris just looks at a computer and it does a show. But maybe it's 2 security guards. Chuck Norris walks around with 2 fucking bodyguards. That blows all the memes right out of the water, folks. But whatever. Wait, do we want to tell Tom what
He looked
who
kind
were we
of.
talking about what we wanted to do?
Chuck Norris
Chuck
looked
Norris
kinda
and Eisenberg.
Oh yeah, he looked kind of old to me though. He was
He is old.
He was
I just
They're there to protect other people.
I
was
just watched
literally
Way of
like-
the Dragon last
he was
night.
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
Walker.
Yes.
Lanny's got a
He
point.
was Walker, Texas Ranger.
He was needs
had
a walker.
no, no,
He
no,
was
no.
needs a walker, Texas Ranger.
No. The bodyguards were there to protect other people in case anyone acted out and Chuck Norris had to take care of business.
That's
The
okay.
bodyguards were there to protect other people. No, Chuck.
So the
you
myth-
can't just beat up everyone anymore. It's over. You have restraining orders.
The
They're
myth.
holding-
court
they have to
orders,
hold him back.
The myth
We
and
were
he
gonna-
needs 2 of them to hold him back.
We were gonna pit Eisenberg against
Chuck Norris.
by
Like
going
a
up to
celebrity
Norris.
death match?
No, by going up to Norris and being like, "Can you fucking believe what Eisenberg's saying about you?
He's going, look, dude, I've respected you for years.
I love you. I love you.
I just watched
know
Way
you-
of the Dragon.
I think you could kick his ass.
But
Eisenberg-
that's not what
I think
Eisenberg's
you could
saying.
Wait, Eisenberg
that's-
is such a nice guy, though. He's so
No,
nice. He's so nice.
But how great would it be to see Jesse Eisenberg get roundhouse
poor
kicked
kid.
by
I'm pretty
Chuck
sure,
Norris
I'm
in a
pretty
green
sure
room?
that. No, never mind. He's too nice.
Who,
He-
Chuck Norris or Eisenberg?
Eisenberg.
I know, he's
I
a
can
nice
make
guy.
a great Eisenberg joke right now, but he's literally too nice. I can't say
He
anything
is-
about
right.
it.
He's so nice. size, but he definitely wouldn't be able to protect himself. He's not the biggest guy I've ever met.
I was
That's
just
why it's so funny.
I was just gonna simply say, like, I'm pretty sure, like, did Eisenberg get his start being a Google employee? I was just, because I was confused. I was surprised that he
He's very
was so
smart.
similar to
He's
the
very
characters
smart.
that he plays.
Right?
I
noticed,
wasn't
like,
actually expecting that because
I didn't either.
I didn't.
Well, no,
I haven't like
he's-
read any articles or like
He's very open.
seen any interviews, and you said he's very open about like his
He has OCD.
OCD,
he has
but I
anxiety,
didn't
and-
know
Yeah.
that he has anxiety or OCD. I don't read Jesse Eisenberg interviews, so like when I met him and
If
we were
you
taking
did,
a ride.
you would know that he has OCD.
But who has that time?
In any case, it's not like I'm a huge Eisenberg fan, but I have seen films that he's done, and so when we're taking
Yeah,
a
can
ride
I just watch the movie?
from the hotel to the convention, I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize that he was so similar to the characters that he plays.
No, he's exactly the same guy. It's
Right.
amazing.
It was a polite way of saying like he plays himself.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's also a little like that as well. Like that he was in the Social Network. He played
Yeah.
the other guy. Like I actually
So he's
I
similar,
dug him
but
in
he's,
it, yeah.
but he's not like OCD.
No, she's saying he's similar in that he's
Or
very
like he just
similar
plays
to-
himself.
So he doesn't. No one really acts.
Well,
You just be yourself. You just walk around.
Joe Mazzello acts because he was not like that in real life. He was in Radio Flyer, and he's also in The Social Network.
Chuck Norris can't act, but he's fucking Chuck Norris. I love Chuck Norris, by the way.
I do too.
I just watched Way the Dragon last night
Why is Daniel Day-Lewis quitting acting?
because Chuck Norris is continuing. and we're out. Go see Thomas and Lani at a Wizard World. I'm Andre Gower.
I'm Ryan Lambert. Should we all do...
and you guys might be at a Wizard World. Come
Yeah.
maybe see you guys at a Wizard
Yes, if they ever invite us back.
I'm going to do a Squadcast, and then we
Yeah.
all go, woo!
Yes,
like
we do.
Scooby-Doo,
you have to
ready?
do- Okay, so
Alright.
I'm Andre Gower.
I'm Ryan Lambert. This is Squadcast.
Squawk. Why do we get the biggest kick out of that?